What up, guys and girls? Another brand new video coming at you today. Yes, we are back again for another round of AOR Oceania F1 for season number 4. We're here, as you can see on your screen, for round number 6 here at the German Grand Prix at the good old Hockenheim ring. As we just can't wait for the crew to let us out into the pit lane. So here's a reminder of the championship standings. 5 points advantage between V-Fans and Big Chungus, and we're all the way down in position number 13. You can obviously check out where your favourite driver is in the championship standings. There's the constructors. Ferrari have an advantage over Force India, and of course Toro Rosso still down in position number 9. So of course Germany, well, we all know Germany, the last season was, of course, we could say famous for the sort of where the whole Team Greek v Team Ryan thing sort of came of age, really, or came out into the real world anyway. So they probably we got none of that this season, obviously, with Greek got racing for season number 4 especially, but sort of positive news, you could say. Well, you definitely would be great news. New Zealand Ryan is back in for the final. Well, it is for round 6 for Germany especially, but whether that continues on for the rest of the season, probably will be the case. But anyway, we've come across the line and set our first lap time here with a 1:12.415, I think it was, a 6:15. Sorry, my bad. Let me just move out of the road here, just letting the fast guys through there. That's R8, and of course Ryan, who of course filling in the Ferrari. Of course, I did mention in the previous one that the DRC Jarrett had been was blacklisted. Look, I was only pretty much doing my job really, as what you do as a coordinator, really. So you sort of don't tolerate the sort of foul language or whatever the bad wording that was used. Well, now whether he said it or not, I'm not going to go into that one. It's up for everyone's determination. But anyway, we'll just leave it at that one. But of course, like I said, Ryan filling in now in that Ferrari, possibly for the remainder of the season, as Matt is now out of qualifying by the looks of things. But yeah, going into this one, the guys, the main, you could say, head of the guys like guys like Ryan and Warden, sort of giving me a little bit of stick, like saying like I shouldn't qualify on the ultra soft tyres because I'd be risking a lot of stuff in the race. But I'm sort of, you know, trying to ignore that sort of thing and just do my own thing.
If you start to suffer from oversteer, come in and let us have a look at the setup. You will get oversteer if the rear tyres lose grip before the front. Usually this will be coming from a lack of rear downforce or an overly stiff rear suspension.
So Cowboy, as you can see, he's out of the Grand Prix. Look out, that's one of the Saubers. It's had a big moment coming through turn 1 there. Had to double check. It's not V-Fence, it's actually Master Berserk. That was a big moment coming around there. I think Berserk's actually probably lost his front wing here. So we'll jump aboard here with a replay with what happened with Berserk. He's literally all over the shop here on his set of medium tyres on his first run here. Whoa, wowee. Thank God I think Cowboy was ghosted, but that could have ended ugly there for old Master Berserk there. But thankfully there's only front wing damage from that. So he'd be thanking his lucky stars. But yeah, like I was saying, they were sort of having a bit of fun at me. Both like Warden and Ryan and maybe a couple of other guys were saying like, do not qualify on the ultra soft tyres. But sort of I was having none of that really, because I mean, it's just doing my own thing really. So just gonna literally only like there's pretty much another 5 rounds left in the season. So just pretty much going to go out with a bang here, because we're well and truly way down the championship order where we want to be. But coming through the Sachs curb there, we just literally got on the curb, which is probably not the ideal way to go through that corner. We were setting purple lap times as well, so if we'd stayed on the track, obviously we would have definitely got the probably the fastest lap, provisional pole anyway for Germany. So yeah, took it much cautiously there. And obviously you saw the first time I came into the pit lane, I went a little bit too hot and went into the gravel trap, which I mean, it's not impossible to do, but some things you can do anyway. So so you can see here, just putting myself on the soft tyres again, sort of toying with the guys up in front there, just thinking that I was going to start on the soft tyres, but was sort of having none of that. Just doing my my own thing here as well. There's my teammate letting out one of the Salvers. So as always, nice game as always. So anyway, we're about to head off now for the final run here on the set of ultra soft tyres. So I mean, I've not had a pole position. That's probably one of the main reasons why I decided maybe to go for the ultra soft tyres, because well, I mean, I haven't had a pole position in F1s here at AOR. Last time I got a pole position was probably F2, where was it? Austria, probably maybe one of the last times I maybe got a pole position. But yeah, that's probably one of my only shots here. So fairly decent-ish run. Nearly lost the car actually going through the first corner there at the Nord curve, I think it's called. But anyway, taking it in the flying long straight here, keeping it in 7th gear here, because you have much better braking performance going into the hairpin here at turn 6. Nice hairpin there actually going into turn 6. It's now Fenn sets the provisional pole for the time being. Now we're getting into the good old Mercedes grandstand here. Just missed the apex a little bit there, but can make up good time through here. Now to turn 11 here. We set another purple lap time here, keeping it in 6th gear. Try not to run too wide because you can easily invalidate your lap time. Now coming into turn 12, the Sachs corner, just trying to avoid that curve like I did earlier on. Trying to get a nice run here through the final couple of corners here. Not running too wide, and especially around this final corner, just keeping it within the white lines. Come across the line. We do set provisional pole position for the time being with an 11.254. But of course, there were still a few guys I was keeping my keen eye on here to see whether my actual pole position would stand for the rest of this qualifying session. Fence comes across the line, doesn't improve. Well, it probably did improve, but wasn't by much. But still a few guys yet to cross the line. Big Chungus was probably the next one, but he qualifies in position 4. Then I noticed lagging. I saw he was on the ultra soft tyres, and then bangs in, goes to provisional pole position. And I think with that, that's pretty much it. So there's Top Bands is probably one of the last guys to come across the line here, and I don't think he's really, well, he does improve actually up into position 7 here. So wow, that was an interesting way to the crash out there for Laggy. That was actually the AI driven car. So yeah, fortunately the pole position drought still continues for me. So I'm going to have to wait a few more rounds to maybe get a pole position. So Laggy gets his first pole position in F1. Great, congrats to him with an 11.0, I think it was. Yeah, and then obviously a few guys down the order. New Zealand Ryan, I was a bit surprised with him down in P14, but I think he's got nothing to lose here, so he was probably having a bit of fun here. And of course, my teammate P15 and Master Berserk hasn't even set a lap time, so you can have a free set of choice of tyres. But anyway, we're time to go racing here for the German Grand Prix. We'll try to have some fun, Jeff. Welcome to the grid for the German Grand Prix. Above the perfect clear skies as well. So you saw then, race strategy-wise, it obviously, with us starting on the ultra soft tyres and probably including lag as well, does mean we'll have to be put onto the provisional 2-stop, obviously, go from a set of ultras to 2 sets of soft tyres. It is a possibility if you take your ultras very long here, you can start on go onto the mediums and set off on the formation lap.
Right, let's get the car up to temperature on this lap. We're learning the gears, so go through them all if you can.
There's RBR has actually been Cube has been disqualified from the session here, but we'll actually get a bit of a replay of what's going on here with RBR, because he has been having a few internet issues as RBR, so things have not been going well for him at the moment. But we're pretty much back here, getting ourselves ready to go here.
Be patient and watch for the lights.
Getting ourselves ready to go here pretty much for the German Grand Prix. But this is probably where most of the chaos, well, not chaos you could say, but where all sort of a little bit of the turmoil really started here because just pretty much just sitting here waiting for time, and then all of a sudden rain just appears out of nowhere and just he goes straight off into turn 1 all by himself. So yeah, that was all very weird, and pretty much everybody here is just stuck on the grid except for Rain. I don't know. At this point, I didn't even know what the earth was going on at this point in time. So I think either Rain was having some few internet issues or something, but I think he was just having a little bit of fun here. And I was telling him in the party, not the party chat, but the message chat to leave the lobby because it was affecting things. And by this time, he's doing some bloody burnouts there as well. So this point in time, it already said we'd restart the lobby, but all of a sudden, we didn't go set in here. So 5 red lights. So we'll do it around the German Grand Prix, but yeah, this is a sort of a bit of a pickle here. What do? Do we just continue on racing here, or do we just restart the lobby again and maybe have another crack with everybody back in for the second time around? So basically we're still battling. So we'll continue on for the time being, but it doesn't take long for me to realise, I think, because as you guys are crashing out there, that it's probably time to actually maybe get a bit of a restart going here, as a few guys are probably leaving the lobby. As we go side by side here, all of a sudden there's a big crash behind there, and that was so bloody lucky, I'll tell you what. But anyway, yeah, at this point I was just like, okay, there's a lot of people leaving, so it must be time to join the queue as well. So, well, I should probably never retired. I probably should have just quit to the menu here, but this is the few replays that occurred here. As you can see, Warden pretty much just goes straight ahead into the tyre barrier here, and obviously that was my car retiring, and that didn't help those guys, obviously, who I think were still racing at this point in time. But you see, oh, nice bit of slide there from Death Bro coming into turn 11 there, but there's oh, that was okay. Yeah.
What happened?
Of course, this is all a bit of you can say a little bit of fun and games, really, but obviously we were trying to reset the lobby anyway. So anyway, this is up all with New Zealand Ride. Of course, there was all the chaos behind there that you saw. But if you look in the foreground a little bit further on, you'll probably see in a second that a Red Bull, I think, goes a bit flying up into the wall there. So it was certainly some interesting stuff for sure. But this is the different perspective as well from Mars Berserk. He's obviously taking his caution as well. You can see there's the Red Bull flying, like I mentioned. So I think that was actually Prez. So not too bad, I will say, for style points wise. So but anyway, this is attempt number 2 here for the German Grand Prix, and well, at this point in time, we're stuck again. We're literally stuck again, and I can't even tell you guys and girls what I was like at this point in time, considering I was waiting here. I'm in a decent position as well, and obviously I coordinate this tier as well, so it was not ideal to try and chat in the Twitter DMs as well as trying to fix this issue out. But there's all of a sudden, by the time I said we'd restart again for the final time, and I was literally at the last straw.
Okay, how was the
even if this
have a bit more grip than that on the start, but we need to warm the tires.
Even if the final lobby didn't work or something, I pretty much decided to nearly cancel this whole round and just put it as a non-classified race.
3:28 a.m.
So finally, after we wasted about 20 to 30 minutes, I think, of this, we finally now set off on the formation lap here for the 3rd time. So
right, let's get the car up to temperature on this lap. We're learning the gears, so go through them all if you can.
Probably the bonus here for myself and the laggy is, and probably for everybody else here, is that we're all starting on a fresh set of tyres here, so that's probably an added bonus, but probably should have made it a bit fairer in the end. But make sure that everybody started on the tyres that they were going to start this race on anyway. But fingers crossed we could get away this time around with no glitches whatsoever.
The rest of the grid is forming up. Be patient and watch for the lights.
So at this point, I was just fingers crossed, hoping that this lobby would start here. So Is everybody ready up? So finally, here we go for round number 6 here in Germany. 5 red lights. Let's do it around the Hockenheim ring, and it's a good start actually. We get a flying start off the line between myself and Laggy. And obviously the tight turn one, we have to really tighten the curve up a little bit there, and tighten the corner up I should say, but that really loses my run here. And Laggy will go straight back up the inside. We try and hold on around the long way around, but have to slot in behind here, going up to the long back straight here around the Parabolica. Now I've got Fens right up my clacker here as well on the gearbox here, and I was trying to keep in the slipstream here with Laggy, but I was also trying to keep ahead of Fens here. There's a little bit of contact into the hairpin here, but should get the drive out of this corner here, as we're still going side by side, going through the turn 7 and into the Mercedes grandstand area. There's the yellow flags behind, so there's a bit of drama happening already, but we just managed to get ahead of Fens, who's starting to battle away here with the Ferrari of Alan Hugo. As you saw there, they were banging wheels there going into out of turn 10, so that really helped me out quite a bit. It sort of helped to pull me away, and
all right, let's focus now for the rest of the race.
I sort of keep close to Laggy in front, who's really started to pull away a little bit here, and we're actually sort of starting to gap away from the two guys behind, the guys behind there, as we nearly lose the car. It's quite easy to lose the rear end coming through turn number 1 here. So I think I was running, from memory, I'm not sure if I was running quite low rings as RBR. I think his internet issues were still hampering him, so he's now out, or he decided to leave the lobby pretty much. So it's not been ideal for RBR anyway, but you see lap 2 now, we've set the fastest.
Okay, focus. We need to stay on form.
Fastest middle sector there overall, really. So we've got some obviously pace to burn. Obviously these old soft tyres, they don't really last too long around here. You usually get at 4, maybe even 5, if not 6 laps at best on the old soft tyres. So as we set the fastest lap of the race, and now it's obviously trying to close in the gap there to Laggy. So just obviously going to try and keep it in that 1 second barrier, as we can get the DRS as well. And the guys behind are still about we're pretty much obviously on our own there at that stage.
MFD for a new strategy option.
We're already getting the strategy change from Jeff, so but sort of having none of that at this stage. But on to lap 4, you can see the guys on the soft rubber, or the soft tyres I should say, are really starting to close in here. They've obviously set their fastest laps of the Grand Prix, but getting to the hairpin, you can see the proximity arrows are really starting to gain a little bit more here.
Okay, looks like you're running on some slightly warm rubber at this point. Should still have a fair amount of grip left, but be mindful, it's going to start falling away.
Now at this point in time, I wasn't sure whether I should pin in or whether I should try and stick it out for maybe 1 extra lap here. So we'll see what happens here, whether Laggy comes in or not, but you see really struggling coming through into turn 11 and into the Sachs curve here. So we've got pretty much a train right behind us here, and we'll see what happens here with Laggy. I think he's coming into the pit lane. Yes, he does. So we're going to stick it out here for 1 extra lap here, and maybe see if we can try a bit of an overcut strategy here.
We're coming in this lap.
We're going to do absolute all here as we lose the rear end coming through turn 1. Somehow managed to keep the lead. I would have thought I'd easily lose the lead there, but coming through into turn number 2 here, into 3, and just lose the back end there, and I think that's where the tyres started to really drop off there as Fens goes by, and Big Chungus, Warden, better known as, gets a good run, and here, and those two are going to battle here. An effective race lead, and I was pretty much in no man's lead here. What should I do? Try to get back to the inside. Alan Hugo trying a long way around. That was a little bit close there with the front wing, but thankfully managing to get away with that one, and
right, coming at the end of this lap,
and back down into position 4. So there's still a bit of a gap behind to New Zealand Ryan actually behind, but you see the tyres are really starting to go off here. So I did let the lads know in the pits it was time to pit.
Remember, box this lap. Keep an eye on your distance to the speed limit line as you approach, and make sure you don't speed.
So Big Chungus now leads the Grand Prix ahead of Fens and Alan Hugo. And obviously Ryan behind, who's doing obviously on the different strategies, come all the way from 14th up into 5th. So I think pretty decent job so far from New Zealand Ryan, the 3-time AOR Oceania champ, as we just get a little bit too hot coming into the pit lane there. I probably screwed up where my braking marker was for the coming into the pit lane, but that's going to sort of hang over my head in the next pit stop. Is nice stop from the Toro Rosso boys. Is on the soft tyres, and Laggy's already gone past here.
Okay, you only have to stop once now.
It's going to be close here in the lap 6 we go here. So that's Conrad going down the left-hand side there. We're just going to pop in just behind Conrad here. So we literally can't afford to be too far being held up sort of behind Conrad here. So we're going to try our best here to try and get past him as quickly as possible, and especially because Rain behind as well may have just done a pit stop as well or something or other, because he's way down in 14th position as we try to go up the inside there. And Conrad, to be fair, does a pretty impressive crisscross there and still's got some pretty decent drive in that McLaren. So fair play to Conrad there, I'll give him that one. So he was really up for a fight there as Conrad, and we have definitely shown the fight there in the past. Here's the replay from the start on board with fans. You can see the ripper start I've got here, but obviously the compromised corner there wasn't ideal there. I probably maybe should have gone back to the normal racing line there, but didn't want to cause any dramas there with myself and Laggy being former teammates. But this was obviously the back going on to the Parabolica part. You see fans obviously trying to get that bit of a slipstream there. I am sort of lagging a little bit to him, but of course there's obviously a difference with me being on the east coast compared to he being on the west coast. He's trying to send up the inside, has a bit of a brake lock up there. There's the little bit of contact. He just didn't quite get the drive coming out of the corner there, and obviously I was trying to hang off for dear life here with fence. So we obviously sent it back up the inside there, and actually gave a bit of momentum there for the Alan Hugos. There was a little bit of a lag moment there. Obviously those two are banging wheels, and here comes that Force India. I think it was Big Chunga, so I could be wrong. Still going side by side, gets pushed a little bit wide, and while RBR I think's lagging quite a bit, so I can probably understand what all that drama was going on there. So here's the replay from the start for RBR. So all looks pretty clean at the moment. So he already gets the track extension warning already. Quite easily you could cut at turn 1 especially. Going side by side here with Big Chungus, and obviously trying to get past Alan Hugo, just giving each other enough room here, and obviously all these guys will be trying to get in. Everybody's slipstream here to try and get the best run here going up into the hairpin. I think Fens was probably the only one who's covering. Here comes Big Chungus up the inside, going for the big dive bomb, gets by RBR, and obviously tried to get past Alan Hugo, but not quite close enough. Now obviously RBR's got H-O not far behind him here. These guys are getting pretty close here, and it's obviously the battling that was all going on in front here. There's just a little bit of contact there between Fens and RBR. Not Fens, RBR. Fens and Alan Hugo, I should say. But this is where it sort of went a little bit pear-shaped a little bit for RBR, because I think he has said it himself. His internet's not been the best at all. So especially with all this little drama here, you can see everybody lagging literally all over, something ghosting every which way. So I mean, I can totally understand from his perspective there, because I mean, I've had a little bit of laggish, not probably as bad as that, but anyway, that's probably what caused him in the end to quit the lobby pretty much, and you can say retire from the race. But look at this battle pack here. This is the fair battle group here for all the way down in P11. This is on board with Top Banter going into turn 1 here, just behind Mars Berserk. There's obviously RBR's car, so that was after he disconnected there. So it's quite a bit of a battle group. We've got H-O, New Zealand Ryan, Death Bro, Master Berserk, and Top Banter, and probably include is that Matt behind, and maybe somebody else. I'm not really sure here, but there's Top Banter trying to get a bit of a slipstream here on Berserk, going down into turn 6, but not quite close enough here. Doesn't quite get the greatest of runs there either, but here's what happened with on board with Fens. So you can see there, lost the rear end big time coming through turn number 1 there. And so just watch what happens here coming out of turn 2 and 3. You can see just lose the rear end a little bit there. Well, that nearly ended in chaos there for Fens, but of course that gave obviously Big Chungus a much better run here. As you can see, trying to go around the long way around here. He would have had the DRS as well. Yes, he would have. Benz tries to fight back here on the tighter line. Not quite the ideal one. And that was where how Big Chungus got the race lead. And of course, he's already had battles already with Alan Hugo in this race. So he's still battling away here. That's probably a risky dive bomb there at the Mercedes grandstand, but not quite close enough here. But back to our battle here with Conrad. So we're about to begin lap number 7 here as we try and get a good run here. We will have the DRS here. We try a bit of a sneaky move going into turn 1. We will. Had to brake early just to make sure we make the corner, but we do finally get past Conrad up into position 13.
Brilliant. Nice move.
Thank you, Jeff. I thought that was pretty decent. But next up is a little bit further up the road is my teammate, Plinio Montero. A bit further up the road. It's lap 8. You see now looks like we've got a fair bit of pace here at the moment. We've set the fastest purple sector one time actually, and Rain has now also got by Conrad here. But and now it's in lap 9 where things really turn ugly for me here. So just pretty much just driving normally here, going down into turn number 2 here, and then all of a sudden you're probably just only hearing my voice at this stage. Well, I hope you all are, because that was pretty much what I heard, because all of a sudden just the audio just cut out for me. And I mean, at this stage, I tried braving it out for as long as I dared, but I mean, Rain up the inside here into the hairpin at turn 6, and obviously makes the move stick. I tried finding it out for as long as I dared, but yeah, I mean, I just could not believe it when at this point, I literally tried everything you could think of in the book. Like there's always been a few little glitches with audio along the way, and I've seen quite a few people that have had issues. But you see here, you can hear all the noises with the Xbox Live sort of thing, and on the menus. But trying to just get back into the gameplay, still nothing. So. As back to the lead. This is Fans and Chunga still battling away here, but not quite again close enough here. So, yeah, back to my just trying to rectify my issues here, but this didn't really help my cause.
Is 2.6 seconds.
I literally turned the volume up on my headset as well to see whether that was the issue.
Faster than us by around 1 second per lap.
That was the weirdest little glitchiest, Jeff, that I think I've ever heard, especially. So, I literally tried everything, go through all the menus, unplugging my headset and putting it back in. I literally could, like I said, tried everything. Even looked at changed tried changing the volume settings, but just nothing would work. I just had nothing at all. And then just coming into the Mercedes grandstand, to make matters worse, that happens. So, yeah, I don't really know what to say, but I can say I'm sort of putting the blame here a little bit on CODEMASTERS, because I think these issues, I think they've got to be fixed. I think for the next game in F1 2019, we'll dive back into it in a second as Fens goes around the long way here at the hairpin on Chungus. Might just have a chance here coming up into the Mercedes grandstand here to maybe get the move and the effective race lead. Should have the inside line here. He tries going around the long way around here, and actually will do it. So great bit of battling all around. Here comes Alan Hugo at all of this. Going up the inside here, and he'll get second place. So the fence is now dropped all the way back to position 3. As his Death Bro and Berserk, by the looks of things, having a bit of a ding-dong battle as well. And you can see Top Banter's tyres are really starting to wear off here, especially the left-hand side. Guys, as these two are still battling away here, so this may help Top Banter out quite a bit here. Might maybe try and line up a move here going into turn 11, but maybe not quite close enough here. But as now you can see the pit stops are about to happen here as the Top Banter gets into the grass there and decides to follow Death Bro into the pit lane here. So interesting to see what happens here with the battle pit crews, as I think that was Alan Hugo possibly that came into the pits. So onto a fresh set of medium tyres, and a pretty simple stops from both the Williams and the Force Indias pit stops. So great job from them. Okay, this should come out with relatively clean air, I think. So all fine and good there. There's Death Bro getting really sideways. That'll be on cold tyres, I would think. Coming out of the pits, yeah, it's quite easy to do. You can lose the rear end. Now Top Banter will take full advantage of that one and jumps up into position number 9. Obviously, he'll try and get past the ghosted car of Calbo. So, I mean, I wasn't the only one that was having a few issues along the way. So, there's Fens in to the pit stops. As I think Big Chungus may have got back past him. Oh, sorry, he still had the effective race lead, but he still managed to get ahead. There goes the Ferrari of Alan Hugo, so he'll get by, but what's the saying? Fens will have much fresher rubber compared to the guys in front, especially. So he's Top Banter and Death Bro having a bit of a battle here. I do thank these guys as well for sending me their footage as well. Well, even though I probably haven't asked most of them anyway. I usually use most of their footage anyway in these videos, especially considering that there's nothing much happening on my footage. Well, of course, when I get knocked out of the lobby, especially with all these damn glitches. But here we go. Top Banter pressure here on Master Berserk around the outside. A little bit of contact there out of the hairpin. Didn't quite get the drive. No, not quite. So Berserk still hanging on here for this is position 7, 8 and 9. Top BB trying to go around a long way around here. Nearly pulled it off, but no, gets squeezed down a little bit there and has to take a lot of curb. And they have to fend off here from Death Bro going down into turn 11, but not quite close enough there. So but this was quite the theme here for these guys, especially the latter part of this race. This is again, Top Banter will try and go around a long way around again. Not quite close enough to get ahead of Master Berserk here. So sort of just biding their time here, really, because as we on to, what are we on, lap 26, I think this is. It's like he's getting a little bit closer here. There's a Top Banter, but might have a look about up the inside. Could have thought about it, actually, but trying to go the long way around again. This time just probably goes in a little bit deep there, but this time he might have a bit more traction. Literally going to go side by side here through turn 7. You can get 2 cars through there, but now into turn the Mercedes Grandstand. They're still going side by side, but Berserk will have the inside line there and just manages to hang on into position 7. I think someone pitted by the looks of things, but here we go again with these guys. I think this is like a lap later. Got the split screen here because this is what happened on the next couple of laps later. As Banter's now trying to go on the inside here line here. There's a little bit of contact between these guys. Trying to do a bit of the forceful move there, and he actually gets the move done. There's Toppy B, so in fair play to him. But I don't think, from memory, Berserk was not overly happy with that one. But I think thankfully got away with front wing damage as Death Bro has now got back past Top Banter. So up at the position 6, and obviously Top Banter in the position 7. Now Laggy will be chasing these guys down as well, because like he was the other guy on the 2-stop strategy. So he'll be definitely pushing on the set of soft tyres as Fens now closing in on the Ferrari here. So looks like he's got fairly decent speed in this Sauber here. Try and go at the inside here quite easily into the hairpin, and he gets the move done here. And actually, New Zealand Ryan has benefited quite well here after the pit stops is, because he's well and truly battling away for this race lead, and actually he's going to take the race lead here into the hairpin. This is on what are we on, lap 27, I think this is. So now gets ahead of Big Chungus here, but there's a Ward over the inside here. Oh, Alan Hugo setting it up the inside here. Nearly might pull it off here, but whether he has just enough drive traction, I don't think he does. So we tried our absolute best to make it a Ferrari 1 and 3 at this stage anyway. So I think Ryan will try to go for back-to-back wins around Germany. But like I said, Laggy's got some speed to burn here. I don't know where on earth Death Bro is going. As trying to go around the outside again. This is quite a common line that he uses, but Death Bro really struggling out of the corner there. He's getting on the dirt. He's all over the shop here. This is not really helping Top Banter. The whole Laggy person goes right around the outside and takes position 7 away. I think it is, yeah, 7 away from Top Banter. Now he'll easily probably get past death throw any moment. Any tick of the clock now. As again, here comes Warden up the inside on Ryan. These two battling away. Fence just in the watching brief here, just watching on seeing these two. Maybe they might collide and he might be there to take the effective race lead here as going into the Mercedes grandstand section. Ryan will have the inside line here. Does Warden fight back? No, he backs out of it. So the Fencer might have a good run here going into turn 11. No, not quite close enough here. So just a case of biding our time here, as that was probably my AI car being getting passed by. But anyway, this is now Laggy well and truly getting past Death Row even before the corner here. As always, a little bit of contact there between Top Banter and is that Matt? I think Matt's actually spun out there, and Death Row nearly lost the car again. So that's many a times that he's lost the car in this race. But what are we on now? I think this is the final lap of the race. Top Banter up the inside here into the hairpin. Should get this move done on Death Row. Might squeeze him out a little bit here, trying to get the drive out of here. It's not easy, but he actually manages to get it done. But Death Row will fight back here, probably into the Mercedes grandstand section here, making sure he covers here to Top Banter. Might have had a little bit of contact there between those two, but finally Tommy B finally gets by Death Row there. So but here we go across the finishing line. Benz will come across the line in P3 across the track, but he actually will take the race victory, because we'll see once we see the race the results afterwards. Here's Top Banter doing a nice 360 across the line there, and thankfully not doing any damage to any of the other guys. So yeah, there's the podium. So it's Fens and both the Ferrari boys, New Zealand Ryan and Alan Hugo, making up the top three of this race. So it was great battling all around, albeit probably without me. But of course, my issues, I still don't know to this day what those issues were, to be honest. So there's the final results on your screen. And actually, Warden had quite a lot of heap of penalties, actually dropped him back to P5. So he really lost out there big time. So there's the championship standing. So 20-point advantage now between V-Fans and Big Chungus, ahead of Alan Hugo, who's jumped back up into third ahead of H-Show. You got Laggy, Death Bro, Top Banter. New Zealand Ryan's now jumped into the 10 in position 8, ahead of Rain, HC, and of course Master Berserk rounding out the top 10. Back at the other page, we've dropped back to position 14, still on the 3 points because we haven't really moved too much. And of course, you'll be able to see where your favourite drivers are as always. But the only guys still yet to score points are Kiowas, Plinio, Montero, and Calbo yet to finally get off the mark. Hopefully they do so maybe in the final couple of rounds. But Ferrari still have a 22-point advantage now over Sauber, who've now jumped up into second place ahead of Force India. Mercedes still ahead of Haas and Williams. And of course, the bottom four pretty much stay the same as it is. They haven't really changed too much. So, yeah, to say the least, I sort of blame Codemasters a little bit for the gaming audio. So you probably tell by the title anyway of this video. So cheers, Codemasters, for that one. And hopefully we don't get that one for the next few races. So hopefully you enjoyed what was the German Grand Prix. If you did, be sure to give it a big smash on that like button. As always, you can leave your comments down below. Subscribe to my channel for plenty more AOR Oceania content on F1 2018, plus plenty more video gaming content as well. As always, all my social media links will be down in the description. Plus, you can check out the links for the AOR website, the YouTube channel, and probably their Twitter channel if I've left the link down there. But until the next round, which will be what is the next round? I think it's the Belgium Grand Prix, actually. We got some fairly decent-ish pace there, but hopefully to have better pace there compared to last season. Until then, it is goodbye, and I'll see you all next time.